Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for October 12th. Currently looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair gapped down at the open. It did retrace that gap fairly quick, moved much higher, but pulled back a significant amount prior to the close. This pair is moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 90.96, possibly as low as 88.90. Look for some resistance around 90.35 and look for some support around 89.33. Now, switching over to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair, it gapped down as well. Gapped up as well. It did retrace the gap, but closed higher for the session, had a pretty large range considering its open to close range. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 148.91, possibly as low as 146.04. Look for some resistance around 148.15 and look for some support around 147.36. Now, switching over to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed down for this session. It did break through previous support. It did close higher than that support though, so we are still looking for this pair to move sideways, but with a bias to the downside. We are looking for this pair to hit some resistance and possibly move as high as 158.83, possibly as low as 157.25, while possibly hitting support at that same level. Well, switching over to the U.S. Swiss, this particular pair closed down today. It did gap down on the open, retrace that gap, moved lower. It had a fairly large range compared to the open to close. This pair is moving sideways, as you can tell, fairly strong. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 1.0414, possibly as low as 10171. Look for some resistance around 10325 and look for some support around 10235. Now, as far as news announcements goes, we really don't have any significant news announcements for tomorrow. So let me show you what I'm looking at as far as a potential trade. We had this strong move up on Friday. We had this, we had it open, this pair gap down, opened, did not tick low. Once it opened, it just shot up from there. I am, however, looking if we get a break below this session's low that it could go down to this point. Basically, this window of opportunity that we have here could be filled. Now, kind of what that looks like, let me show you. Let me draw a few lines here. And let me show you an area that I'd be concerned with this potential trade. Okay, so if you go short around the 89.51 area, you are around the 50 mark, which can be a area of support. So definitely keep that in mind. Then our next area that I would be concerned with is the 89.35 area. We have historical support at that level. This is about 20 pips up if you were to short at this point. You could definitely go to break even there and see if it will run down to the 88.71 area. All in all, if you enter right about here, you're still looking at a good 75 to 80 pip move depending on when you get in on this trade. I do believe that we have that this pair has the ability to break down through that fairly quick. Now I know from the open to the close you're looking at about 110, 111 pips, but if you look at some of these other moves that we've had, 144, even some on these days we've gone through it. We opened above that area, went all the way through it there. Same situation here. This one, same situation, all the way through it. This one covered a lot of the ground, not quite up to the highest point or the entry point, but nonetheless went on through the majority of the move that we're looking at. So this is definitely a trade that I would look at. Use a 1-to-1 risk to reward on this one. Potentially go to break even, 20 pips into profit. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.